Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Mysteries from Beyond the Other Dominion. I'm your host, Dr. Franklin Ruehl, and today we're going to ask if shadow universes are surrounding us, investigate biblical accounts of reincarnation, tell you about the very first movie dealing with Martians, and critique the 1955 crime drama The Big Bluff, starring John Bromfield and Martha Vickers, and cover other intriguing subjects, time of course permitting. But first, the question of the day: are we surrounded by shadow universes? Now, shadow universes, of course, are parallel universes, mirror image universes, or looking glass universes. All terms have been used. The idea is that there could be parallel universes, just like our own, that we cannot see. Of course, the stuff of science fiction for decades, and of course, well presented on many TV sci-fi shows such as Star Trek, The Twilight Zone, and even Dark Shadows. But could they possibly exist? For decades, centuries, poo-pooed the notion that such universes actually exist. But they've now encountered a number of riddles regarding the cosmos that cannot be explained except through the invocation of the idea of shadow universes. And recently, a number of top physicists now say mirror image universes may well exist. Now, the three major problems are as follows. First, it is the structure of our island universe. The galaxies, of course, are receding from one another at a fantastic rate. But if there was not more gravity present, they should be further apart. The structure of our cosmos as we know it today does not make sense. There is approximately 90% of the matter that should be there that's missing. It's called the missing matter question. Some have postulated bizarre particles such as WIMPs and machos or dark matter to account for the missing gravity that we need to sustain the universe as it now exists. And it's simply not there. So, scientists are suggesting that possibly there's a parallel universe that is keeping our universe intact as it is. That's providing the scaffolding through gravitational effects that we cannot detect. Another problem involves neutrinos. Neutrinos are virtually massless particles that almost travel at the speed of light. They're generated, for example, at the center of our sun. These are called electron neutrinos. But for decades, scientists have tried to measure these from the sun. They've only found 50% of the number theoretically expected. They question what's happened to the other 50% of those electron neutrinos. The same question then pertains to what are called muon neutrinos that rain down us from space in cosmic radiation. Only 50% of them are appearing also. The idea for these two, that there are mirror image electron neutrinos and mirror image muon neutrinos, that these particles become, they enter the other dimension and are lost to our detectors. And the question is, how might we detect the presence of a parallel universe? Well, one idea is that there would be supernovas, that is, stars that would be exploding as they die a fiery death in this parallel world. And as they explode, electrons and positrons collide, forming gamma radiation and light. Well, if in some sector of our cosmos we suddenly see what appears to be this tremendous influx of light and gamma radiation where there is no star, but just the signs of a supernova explosion, that would be a clue that this was a supernova that exploded on the other side, but some of these particles were able to penetrate the barrier between the two universes. Now, of course, this leads to another question. If indeed shadow universes exist, does each one of us have a counterpart in that world, which is often depicted on that TV show Sliders? And are there multiple parallel worlds? Well, I hate to think there's another Dr. Ruehl with Mysteries from Beyond the Other Dominion. I want to be the only one. Let's assume that two identical Earths began at the same time 4.5 billion years ago. Well, there's so many random possibilities that could change evolution that likely humanity would be different. But even if we had ancestors that resembled us, there would be so many changes at each step that we should not expect to find identical counterparts in the other world. Just identical mirror image particles that can account for some of these mysteries of the cosmos. And again, top flight scientists are now agreeing that shadow universes may well indeed exist.
Now, until next time, may the power of the cosmos and of the shadow universes be with you. Yes, yes, yes.